Good morning students, Sairam and welcome again. So in previous module, you all have learned social and political life chapter first that talks about on equality. I hope you all understood the chapter. Okay. So in this video, we are going to start geography, right? Second chapter that talks about inside our earth. So your chapter name is Inside Our Earth. In this video, we will cover these topic. First one is about the earth. Second one is structure of the earth. So in structure of the earth, we also discussed about the crust, mantle, and the last one is the core. Okay, now let's start. First topic is about the earth. The earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet. Students, I think you all know that our earth, it's constantly undergoing changes, so it is impossible to obtain information regarding the interior of the earth. Why it is impossible? Basically, it is impossible to obtain information regarding the interior of the earth because temperature are very high inside the earth. Basically, temperature increasing at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 30 to 35 kilometer of depth, right? So that's why nobody can travel deep inside the earth. As I said, temperature are very high. So the scientists have taken the help of earthquake to determine the structure of the earth. Now the question is, how scientists use earthquake to determine the structure of the earth? Okay, let's find out. How do the scientists use the earthquake to determine the structure of the earth? As we know that during earthquake, vibration are produced inside the earth, right? So just as the vibration of a string of a musical instrument produce should waves, the earth vibration produce seismic waves. Okay, so let's first understand what is seismic waves. Seismic waves is an elastic waves in the earth produced by the earthquake or other means. Or we can say that seismic waves are the waves of energy caused by the sudden breaking of rocks within the earth or an explosion, right? So just as the vibration of a string of a musical instrument produce should waves, the earth vibration produce seismic waves, and these seismic waves travel through different material inside the earth at different speed. They also get bent when underpass from one material to another. So by observing the path of the seismic wave and the speed of the seismic wave, scientists can find out the types and arrangement of the material through to which it passed. So from such observation, we know that actually earth consists 3 concentric layers, right? How many layers? Earth consists 3 layers. Okay, just look at this picture. I think you all have seen onion. Onion is made up of several layers. So just like an onion, the earth is also made up of several layers with one inside other. Is it clear? Okay. So there are 3 layers of the earth. First one is the crust, second one is the mantle, and third one is the core. Now core is further divided into 2. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core, right? Okay, let's understand these layers with the help of the diagram. So this is the interior of the earth. First layer is the crust, second layer is mantle, and the third layer is the core. So core, as I said, core is further divided into 2. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. Is it clear? Basically there are 3 layers of the earth. First one is the crust, second is the mantle, and third one is the core. And core is further divided into two. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. Now let's understand about the layers one by one. So the first layer is the crust. Just look at this diagram. The first layer or the uppermost layer of the earth is called the crust. And the crust is very thin, with an average thickness is about 30 kilometer. If the earth was an egg, then the crust could be regarded as the shell that protect the earth. The crust is not uniformly thick at all places. That is, thinner under the ocean and thicker under the continent. Okay. Now let's understand about the continental crust and the oceanic crust. So basically, it has thickness varies between 5 kilometer to 8 kilometer under the ocean floor, right, and to 35 kilometer under the continental floor. Now the second thing is the ocean current mainly consists two important minerals. First one is the silica and the second one is the magnesium. That's why it is also called SIMA, S-I-M-A. Si means silica and Ma stand for magnesium. Is it clear? Si stand for silica and Ma magnesium. Now the next one is the continental crust. So the main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and second one is the aluminum. So it is also called shale. Shale, that is Si stand for silica and As stand for aluminum. Is it clear? Okay. So as we know that the surface is quite uneven. For example, Mount Everest, its height 8,848 meters above the sea level, and the Mariana Trench, it is in Pacific Ocean, is 11,034 meters below sea level. So this is all about the first layer of the earth, crust. Did you know? So students, do you know the crust, that means the first layer of the earth, form only 0.5% of the volume of the earth, and second layer is the mantle that form 16% volume of the earth, and the third layer is the core that forms 83 volume of the earth. Crust only 0.5%, mantle 16% and the core is 18%, right? Okay. Now let's understand the second layer of the earth, mantle. So this is the second layer of the earth. Just beneath the crust is the mantle, which of 2,900 kilometer below the crust. Basically, this layer extends up to depth of 2,900 kilometer below the crust. This is the second layer of the earth. Now, this layer basically is made up of dense and very heavy material like iron and magnesium. Is it clear? This layer, that means the second layer of the earth, is made up of dense and heavy material like iron and magnesium. So both the depth and density of the mantle increases with increasing depth towards the center of the earth. Okay, now the mantle has two parts. That means that this layer is also divided into two parts. First one is the upper mantle and the second one is the lower mantle. Upper mantle is about 670 kilometer thick, while the lower mantle is about 2,200 kilometer thick. Okay, now let's understand first upper mantle. So this is the top layer of the upper mantle is called, it is in solid form, and below this layer lies in a soft layer. But because of the high temperature in this layer, the rocks here or the rocks present there are in the soft state, a stage they reach before melting. Is it clear? And this layer also begins at the depth of 50 kilometer and extends up to depth of 300 kilometer. Is it clear? Now the second layer of mantle is the lower mantle. Lower mantle is a solid region starting at about 700 kilometer. Unlike the upper mantle, it is composed of rocks of uniform hardness. So the second layer is the mantle, and this layer extend up to depth of 2900 kilometer, just below the crust. And this layer is made up of dense and very heavy material like iron and magnesium. This layer consists two. First one is the upper mantle and the next one is the lower mantle. So as I said, the average temperature of upper mantle is around 870 degrees Celsius and the lower mantle temperature is around 2200 degrees Celsius. So this is all about the second layer of the earth, mantle. Okay, now just move on to the next layer, the core. Okay, now just look at this map. This is the third layer of the earth. The innermost layer of the earth is called core, right? And it is about 3500 kilometer thick. This too is divided into two layers. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. Is it clear? This layer is also divided into two. First one is the outer core and second one is the inner core. So it is made up of heavy material. This layer is made up of heavy material like the iron and the next one is the nickel. So that's why it is called NiFe, NiF. Ni stand for nickel and Fe for ferrous, that is iron. Is it clear? This layer is made up of iron and nickel. Okay, so as I said, like the temperature increasing at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 30 to 35 kilometer. So the temperature at the core are extremely high. So the matter present there, it is in the molten state. Okay, whatever matter is present here, it is in the molten state. It's called magma. Clear? The matter present here, it is in the molten state. It's called magma. And when the red magma basically erupt from the interior of the earth through the volcanoes, it's called lava. So the recent studies suggest that the second layer, that means the innermost core, actually found in the solid form or the solid state. Why? Why is in the solid state? Due to the pressure of above layer. Basically, the study of seismic waves also shows that the outer of the core is in the molten state while the innermost part is in the solid form. Why is in the solid form? Due to the pressure of above layer. Is it clear? So this is all about the third layer of the earth, core. Now just look at this diagram. This diagram shows the layers of the earth. So first layer is the crust, that is the oceanic crust and the continental crust. Next one is the mantle. So this also consists two upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now the third layer is the core. This too is divided into two layers. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. So the outer core is in the molten state, right? And the inner core is in the solid states. So why inner core is in the solid state? Due to the pressure of above layer. Is it clear? So this is all about the layers of the earth. Okay, now the interesting fact. Okay, let's read this interesting fact. The deepest mines in the world is in the South Africa. Mines basically is an evacuation process in the earth through extracting coal and other minerals. Is it clear? So the deepest mines in the world is in the South Africa, and it is about 4 kilometer deep. In the search for oil, engineers have dug a hole about 6 kilometer deep. So to reach the center of the earth, which is not possible actually, so you will have to dig a hole around 6,000 kilometer deep on the ocean floor, right? Okay, now just move on to the question answers. So today's home assignment. First question is, what do the terms SEMA and SAIL stand for? So first, SI stand for silica and Ma magnesium, right? And SAIL, Si, that is silica and aluminium. Now the second question is, what do you know about the interior of the earth? So our earth is made up of several layers with one inside another, and these layers are three in number. First one is the crust, second one is the mantle, and third one is the core. Okay, so the crust, it is the uppermost layer of the earth, and it is the thinnest of all the layers. It is about 35 kilometer on the continental floor and only 5 kilometer under the ocean floor. Now the second layer of the earth is mantle. It is just beneath the crust. It extends up to a depth of 2900 kilometer below the crust. And this layer is also consists two layers, upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now the third layer is the core. It is the innermost layer of the earth, and this too is divided into two. First one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. Its radius is about 3500 kilometer. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron. It is known as NIF, N-I-F-E. Ni stand for nickel and Fe, that is ferrous, iron. So the central core has very high temperature and pressure. Okay, now just move on to the third question. Give reason. So basically we cannot go to the center of the earth. Why? To reach the center of the earth, one will we have to dig a hole around 6,000 kilometer deep on the ocean floor, and this is quite impossible. Why it is impossible? Because the temperature is extremely high inside the earth. So therefore we cannot go to the center of the earth. Is it clear? Now what you have to do? You have to just note down this question answer in your notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.